welcome. Hello everyone, Namaste Pisceans. This is your reading for September 2017. So thanks for joining me, guys. We will be using 3 different decks for the month, 12 cards in total. So it takes a little bit more shuffling, but I think it's a rewarding reading that's well worth the effort. So it's time to kind of sit back and relax and see what messages are coming your way. So a little bit more shuffling for Pisces, not quite there yet. Oh, they really want to shuffle up the deck for you guys, don't they? Okay. Your first card is the Hanged Man, then the 5 of Wands, then the Sun, then the 4 of Cups. The next deck is this beautiful colour-infused, beautiful vibrational energy deck by John Holland, the Psychic Tarot deck. Let's see what's in store for Pisces for the month of September. Positive movement forward, the 8 of Pentacles. Rest and rejuvenate, the 4 of Swords. The 8 of Swords, trapped in fear, and the 3 of Wands, partnerships and alliances. And our next set of cards are these beautiful fairy oracle cards for the last ones. A little more shuffling again. And Pisces, before I started the reading for you guys, I got some words that came in. It was love, attraction, water, blue, and calm. Oh wow. Water, blue, calm, blue. Okay. Dietary change, assertiveness, do some research, and be yourself. Lovely messages. The reading, in essence, works down the columns. So this is the first week, second, third, and fourth, and so on. So let's start with the first week. But actually, before we do, you have 2 major arcana cards and no court cards. So interesting. This month is about yourself, and it's about energies and emotions. I think it's quite an emotive looking one, which is not unusual for Pisceans because you're connected to the emotions, the water signs. So let's just see. We're starting at the top left with the Hanged Man, and he's upside down, but he looks the right way up. I am going to turn him up the right way. It doesn't it doesn't necessarily matter in this reading because I wasn't reading for reversals anyhow, but I will add in the reversed energy if you like, but I'll turn him back up that way. So the Hanged Man is about coming to a crossroad in your life, and this would be the same if it was reversed or not. And it is often about pondering where you are going, what direction to head in. Should you take the high road or the low road? Do you need to reflect more upon your bigger dreams or your bigger aspirations for further in life? So quite often this is a very rewarding moment in time because we take the time out to contemplate what we are, what we want, and where we are going. But at the same time, because we do that, we often see a slowing down of events or essences occurring around us. So it can literally mean a stalling of things. So some of you may have been wanting something to happen, but for some reason it's stalled. Now sometimes this can be because our subconscious actually isn't quite prepared yet to move forward. So the stalling might appear to come from a different perspective or a different direction, but in effect it is telling us to be stalled for a reason, to allow us to possibly rethink a strategy or rethink the direction that we want to go in. So I always think of these moments as very poignant and quite synchronistic. They allow us to reflect, and reflection is where we make our decisions from, and making decisions is how we make our choices in moving forward. So, phew, big message to start the month off. And I think that's warranted because we've had the eclipses in August, and they were two big eclipses. Eclipses deal with hidden energy, so they're often things that we've either energies or thoughts or people or situations or ourselves that we haven't really been focusing on or have been a bit scared to face one way or another. So we come down to the next card in the same week, and it's the 8, and it's positive movement forward. So it's a lovely benevolent positive card. So even though we had the Hanged Man and we may have felt as though we were stagnating at the beginning, you're getting like a flip over of messages saying, but wait, you are getting positive movement forward. So it's either that you have this opportunity to make a decision, and I think it's more like that. You've got, do I go this way or do I go that? But whatever choice you decide on should be taking you in a positive way forward. Now, this could be affecting your career or finances, because often that is what this card resembles. So some of you may be finding a really big jump in your career. You might be suddenly infused with ideas or creativeness, or you might have been given a pay rise, or a new job opportunity comes your way. These are all possibles when this card comes out. It is quite a well loved card in many ways, because it offers reward, and it offers stability, and it offers success. Now, we see this one at the bottom, dietary change, and it says improve your diet and your life will also improve. Well, to be fair, I imagine that's true for all of us. So I know if my diet changed, I'm sure my life would be better as well. So we all could do with dietary changes, and I think it's a lovely subtle message to arrive. But I'm looking down this row now, and I see there's quite a physical message within it. The Hanged Man often gives me the feeling of neck and back stiffness and needing some sort of manipulation, also possibly headaches or eye ache. So some of you may need to get glasses for the first time, or get new prescription glasses amended. Some of you may need to have like your spine readjusted. And this card here in the traditional tarot is all about the pentacles in a straight line and one of them being out of alignment. And again, I often think of the spine, and in that instance, the base of the spine. So could some of you be having spinal work or hip things done to your hips for realignment? New hips or new legs even. There's something here about your physical health in the reading and in the earlier part of September. So some of you could even be having surgical remedial work that will give you better health and make you feel better. That's definitely your physical health line here in the first week. So we come to the second one, and we see the 5 of Wands, the 4 of Swords, and assertiveness. The 5 of Wands, interestingly enough, is a card of assertiveness. It's about standing up for your rights and saying, yeah, well, I've got ideas as well, and don't push me around and blah, blah, blah. Sometimes it means there's challenges in front of you, and there's other people vying for attention and the same things that you want. So you do have to be assertive in situations like that. So if any of you are looking for new jobs or new friendships and relationships, it may pay you to be assertive in that particular field. This card here is often tied into relationships, and it can actually mean that you go away with someone special and you have a retreat time with them, like a weekend away. It can be very sensual. And it can be very private and sexual liaison between two. It can also be a time when fertility takes place. And we see connected to it diagonally, we have the Sun, and the Sun is a card of fertility as well. So for some of you, there's a possibility of conception of a pregnancy in this month, and for others it could be fertility of new concepts, dreams, passions, businesses, and new relationships. Definitely your assertiveness will play a role in it. And this one here, when it says rest and rejuvenate, perhaps between your bouts of assertiveness, they're telling you, well, make sure you, re-establish your connections and do some yoga and do some meditation and realign yourself. Definitely realign your body to go back in the flow with it again. We come to the Sun, and I've talked a little bit about it. It is the card of illumination, of love, of bounty, joy, happiness, harmony, everything that you could want the sun delivers, and fertility, new relationships, sexuality, happiness, laughter. We can't live on this planet without the sun's energy, so it's so important that it's wonderful when it turns up in your reading. Now underneath you have the Eight of Swords, and we see we have 2 8s in the reading, so the 8 might be a relevant number for you for the reading as well. It might hold significance. And it's, as I say, usually it's a promising number. The Eight of Swords is a little bit different, and it says trapped in fear. So sometimes this card turns up when we are feeling anxious or periods of anxiety like panic attacks, and when we feel overstressed, and so that can happen when we go through big changes in our life. So a change of home or workplace or relationship, or change of your philosophical viewpoints, or change in health or diet. Now, there is a little bit in this reading that is telling you to make some changes both in your physical body and in your emotional state to bring about more flow and more peace and harmony. So I think these two being together like this are telling us to, at some point in the middle of the month perhaps, for you guys to definitely take some rest and rejuvenation and to remove anxiety if you can. So that means slowing down, getting good sleep, eating well, making sure your body is flowing, that you're getting all the source flow energy, which helps keep positivity on balance. And knowing that everything passes, that any negative times that come up for us, it passes, and so you work on that. It's also saying here, do some research. So you need more information about a situation, look into it further before proceeding. So some of you are thinking of a new project or ambition, and you're wanting it to happen, and sometimes when we don't have all the facts and the answers, this is when anxiety can creep in. So these two could also be linked, and it could be about a new proposition or something new you're starting, which could be quite big, and you haven't got everything in line yet. So they're saying if you do some more looking into this, you'll have more answers, which could reduce any worry that you've got around a project that you're doing. So just take your time, step back, pace it out, slow it down, breathe it out and just feel into it, and you become more able to take on new information and extra information about something like a project when it's all slowed down. And there's no doubt about that with the rest and rejuvenate as well, and that together, slow down. It's quite nice actually. I mean, even when I do the readings, they need to be quite fast paced to get all the messages across that come pummeling through. But even when I said that and just slowed it down, the whole energy in the room just changed. So coming to your last row here, the Four of Cups, the Three of Wands, and Be Yourself. The Four of Cups is quite often about being offered something, and sometimes connected to our heart. So this can be relationships or something we're passionate about. But the offer feels as though you might be wanting to turn it down, as if it's not quite good enough. So think it through twice, check it out, do some more research. If you're being offered something and you're thinking it's no good, it might be just what you need if you look a bit harder. So don't turn down too many things straight away in the month of September and also November. What might appear to be not what you're looking for could well be a link to it, or could well be part of it. So try and extrapolate it out. You've got partnerships and alliances underneath, the Three of Wands. It's a lovely card. It feels as though something new is coming in terms of partnerships or possibilities. So this can be love, but it often has more of a business or career feel, and it's definitely support, and it's systems in place, and it's partnership and brotherhood. So, and this could well turn up from this offer that's coming up here. So do keep your eyes open and be open to things that you thought wouldn't work that could work. Be yourself. The situation calls for you to be your authentic self, which is the basis for your personal power. It's a beautiful looking card, and it is sort of nice that it's the last card there, and it does have the propensity to give you immense stability and power. And when we are ourselves and we're listening to our inner voice and our integrity values, we increase our strength immensely. And you don't have to pretend to be this or that to please other people, but you do have to please yourself. And you can only do that by being yourself. So there you are, Pisceans. It's quite a thoughtful, contemplative reading with a lot of energies about looking after yourself for the month and feeling into your own vibrations and your own desires and your own pathways forward. So it's a soulful reading. It's a lovely soulful reading. There is definitely plenty of love and energy in the air as well. So guys, have a wonderful month ahead, and I thank you all for joining me for the readings. I love doing them for you, and because of your commitment to the channel and to my work, it's enabled me to become number 19 of the top psychics in the world. And I know the word psychic is only a very small part of what I do, because I do the spiritual counselling is more along the work that I'm passionate about. But yes, I'm a pretty good psychic, if I admit it myself. So hey everyone, thank you anyhow. Much love to you all. Have a wonderful month. Namaste.